there, Scorpio. Welcome to your October 2023 tarot reading. It's Rena here. Interesting. So there is in this month of October, or soon to be, I'm recording in late September, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in your seventh house of committed partnership with your opposite sign of Taurus. And that can be a lunar eclipse, can bring out something in a very dramatic way that has been hidden in your relationship. It can also just kind of be that grand finale. If you've just been on again, off again with someone, that might just be, that's it. And it's easy because it's just like, okay, sometimes relationships end like that when they're just kind of on life support, where they're just like hanging on, and then it's like, okay, it's like you cut the cord, you have the courage to do it, or it just ends of its own accord for some reason. And it's a good thing. But there are some, Scorpio people, I have no doubt, who are kind of outliers, who maybe you have never gotten seriously involved with someone, and you might be in middle age and you finally let down your barriers, and maybe that lunar eclipse is like you letting go of all the emotional baggage that you've had, and you commit to a partner. So it could be something completely different, but whatever it is affecting that relationship sector. So that's something that is, a highlight of October for you. The heart of the matter is the Seven of Pentacles, and this is a card of having patience to see something grow. So if you've just started a job, that if it feels like, I don't know, especially if it's something where oh my gosh, it's so weird, because I wonder if it's like my screen is showing that it's frozen, but I have this weird feeling that it's not. Sorry about that. I had to start a new file because it was continuing to record, as I found out when I played it back. But what I was saying is that if you have started like a new job and you're not that crazy about it, it might be tempting just to kind of throw in the towel right away. But it might be one of those things where um, the more you invest energy into it, the more you're planting these seeds that are going to eventually grow. Now, of course, the opposite can be true too, is that the person has done that and it hasn't yielded what they're looking for. So you have to be willing to see that as well. And I almost think that that is more likely the possibility in some cases, because Scorpio is a fixed sign. So you might be just so committed to being in a relationship or whatever, if you've gotten married to someone and you've had a rocky start, feeling like, oh, I'm going to just stick with this. I do believe that giving something a chance is important, but I also think that, you have to realize when it might not be what you thought it was going to be. Now, when I look at the past position, oh, and by the way, this can apply to like a business. If you've started a business and maybe you had some ideas that were a little bit unrealistic, that it was just going to take off like a rocket, and it didn't, and then you feel like a little bit disappointed by that, but you're not really seeing it as it is, then you have to be more realistic. In the past position, we have the Two of Cups, so that can be either reuniting with somebody from your past, and we had that recent Venus retrograde, so that certainly could have been the case, or committing to someone. So both of those can be significant things, having the faith that a relationship is going to, be a good one, even if it has shown itself thus far to be challenging. Or to, if you've already been with that person before and now you're coming back, because this is also a card of forgiveness, of being able to go back into that relationship with kind of a fresh outlook and attitude, where you're not just kind of resentful. Oh yeah, I remember when you did this, you cheated, so why am I even back with you? How can I trust you? Well, that's a good question. You can't go back with somebody and then bring up the old stuff. Hopefully you would have, gone to some kind of therapy with that person, like relationship therapy, or there was some reason that you believed that that person is in fact going to, that they have changed, or that you have changed, if you feel that you are the one who, wasn't really committed. But yeah, so that could be it. But I can see too, like in a workplace situation too, because Two of Cups to me can be going back to a former employer. And nowadays, these things can happen, especially if somebody gets laid off. And there have been so many kind of on again, off again employment situations that seem to be pretty, normal, that can occur. The higher message is the Fool card, and you see like the flower of life. I almost see that as kind of the grid of like the vortex, what you're trying to create in your life. But as a higher message card, you may be, it's what came into my mind was the phrase jumping from the frying pan into the fire, or that you need, this is like the 0 point, this is 0, the Fool card. You may be trying to enter the same river twice, which you can't do. So if you had an employer and you thought that you could go back to that person, you might find that it's really not for you anymore, that you have grown, you've moved on, and that you just can't do it. Same thing with a relationship, that you just have to let it totally go in a completely different direction. I am feeling, for whatever reason, this idea of the on again, off again relationship in particular. There's a reason that it is on again, off again. And people have to be very aware of that, and not, look at it as, oh my gosh, that means that this person is bad, or I'm bad, I can't hold on to a relationship. It can have nothing to do with that. It's just that you cannot, maybe you can't find enough common ground with that other person. You're just too divergent in your desires and that sort of thing. And outlooks on life. What crosses you is the Justice card. So, this is sometimes there. I would definitely say that for some people, you may be waiting for a divorce decree so that you can be with that person that you've reunited with the Two of Cups. And Yet the Justice card is in the challenge position. Something is delaying this situation. But what I would say to you is, if you are in the situation, Scorpio, ask yourself if you have uh, been moving too quickly to have a replacement for a relationship. And if there is something in that delay that could be really good for you, maybe you're not supposed to just jump from one relationship to the next. Maybe you need time to process it. If you're getting divorced, maybe you need time to just chill and, look at that situation and say, what happened? What is there to learn from that situation? What's coming in? Six of Wands. This is a great card for career achievement or acknowledgement. This is a card connected to Leo, and so it can be success with career. And it just so happens, Scorpio, that you have Leo as your 10th house of career. There's no transits that are coming up in the near future that are connected to Leo. Although I will say that at the very beginning of October, we do have Venus in Leo, where it finally leaves its shadow. So I believe that's at 28 degrees. So I think that's around the 5th or 7th of October. So that goes well into the first week. So that may be something else that is unrelated to some of these other issues. But I will say with the Seven of Pentacles that could indicate that your persistence pays off. That's something that you have been waiting on grows, and you're able to, take advantage of that and success. The outcome is the Eight of Cups. This is leaving behind something that is no longer fulfilling you. This does not have to be connected to your career. You may be, the Six of Wands could be that you're having a really boffo career time right now, and it's your love life that is kind of a little bit chaotic, and maybe that Eight of Cups will be reflected with that lunar eclipse in your relationship sector. It certainly could be that way. And it might even be like a revelation almost. Like something comes into your mind because of, circumstances that present themselves that make you go, okay, I can just totally let this go. Otherwise, you might still fall under the same illusions. And that Six of Wands is really important because you realize also that you deserve to be, in somebody else's spotlight. You deserve, Scorpio, to have your light, the things that you are good, your talents, all of those things, that the other person is upholding them. It doesn't mean that they're just like blowing smoke up your butt all the time. It doesn't mean that. It means that they are, appreciative of how you show up in the world and how you show up for them. People that are overly critical, those are people to watch out for. Not that we are perfect and we don't have any flaws. It's that somebody who needs to criticize, that can indicate that they are coming from a destructive place, that they want to keep that other person feeling small and feeling insecure. So just understand that you're going to get your day in the sun, and that is going to cause you to walk away from anything that makes you feel empty inside. All right, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.